This is so confusing what Kanye is talking about. So let's try to make some sense of it. And this is when I realized I'm like, well, number one, I think it's a few things. Kanye might not know me that well, might also not know my platform that well. When he says the guys that people work for, and I know some of y'all be like, well, Ack, you have a deal with Spotify. I barely do news reporting or media stuff on Spotify. I'm just interviewing rappers. Like the platform where I do news reporting on, right? Primarily Instagram and YouTube, right? There is no other agenda. I cover what I want. My opinion is not bought. I can say whatever I want. I've detailed my plight to get to where I'm at. And one of the reasons why, I was empathizing a lot with Kanye before was that I understand getting to that point and people trying to make you fit in because they do it to me now. They say, I got here by being edgy. Now they want me to, like, I had this conversation with my brother. I got here by being edgy and saying what a fan would say. Now they're saying, yo, why are you saying what a fan would say? And I'm like, wait, because I've made it, I should just now conform with what the people who made it do. So I was a little bit confused when he said my name. And I know y'all think Ye's is all this genius, whatever, whatever. But I just can't understand it. Like, who does he think is controlling me? I thought about this very hard. Let's think about it. How does Akademiks get his money? Of course, I work with record labels. That's definitely a thing. I work with record labels to promote music. I consult. People want my opinion. People want me. They got to pay for it. That's just how it is. Just like how people want your music, people pay for it. That's not no agenda. That's how you work. That's how I work. It's cool. So when he talks about like there's some sort of controlled, when you say controlled media, when he first said Rosenberg works for MS Communication. I don't know if that's a Jewish controlled company. That's a huge media company. Charlemagne works for The Breakfast Club, which is on iHeartMedia. I don't even know, and we could probably Google these people, but again, this is where Kanye, I believe, feels he's too full of himself. The people who owns these companies ain't trying to suppress Kanye's voice. Okay? Now, they could be offended by stuff that Kanye says. Now, I'm not here to defend Charlemagne and definitely not Rosendweeb, okay? I'm here to talk about me. Kanye is either off the rocker or maybe either ill-informed or just believes that anyone who doesn't see things his way, and trust me, I've been one of those people who's seen things Kanye's way a lot. I've been sitting here while he went on incoherent rants before he got hospitalized years ago. Remember I told you the whole thing where he was talking about Jay-Z got ninjas ready to kill me? And I said, yo, there's some truth in what he's saying. I always said Kanye always, like, no matter what he says, he be having some truth in it. But here's the thing. A lot of what he says at these times when he's unhinged, you could tell he's blurring the line between reality and also what he's speculating on. What I believe is that Kanye is speculating that either my company, right, is owned by someone else that's bigger. Which, by the way, here's another thing. Without giving out names, bro, I've had people come at me and say, hey, Ak, we want to buy into the Akademiks brand. We could give you this amount of millions that you could just be in your pocket and could help you out if you needed cash on hand and we want to be a part of it. We would own this small portion of your business. And you know what I've said? No, I'm making a lot of money now. I think it's a lot. Maybe not a lot to everybody else, but it's a lot to me. I'm good. I've done a lot to stay independent with my voice. WorldStar is no longer owned by even the family of Q. All of these other entities, with the exception of what I know to be me, Vlad, No Jumper, I don't want to name specific names who have either sold portions of their company. I know my shit is completely owned by myself. I believe same thing with Vlad. And by the way, me and Vlad have talked about, he talked about this publicly, where people wanted to give him money, not necessarily for ownership, but it was for they wanted to buy pieces of his content or like a publishing situation, and he turned it down. You know what I mean? Again, I know, and I'm very proud that I'm an independent media creator, and I'm an independent media thinker as well. The reason why I keep going viral these days is because people now have, And by the way, I'm not even. This is why some of the people y'all want me to address or like respond to, I've stopped responding to. They're fucked up, not me. They have now cared about everything I say. I don't care about nothing they say. So if they think by making me go viral every 2 days is going to get me to not be myself or not say what I want to say, that's not going to happen. So these days, when even if they take me out of context, which, okay, sure, y'all can run with the whole, yo, he's going to testify on Lil Baby. Like, you guys are, like, first of all, I don't even want to address it at all. I won't. But whether that's the case in terms of what they're running with, I don't have to address that shit no more. I stopped. Now, obviously, if it's something where, like, I'm in the middle where women are fighting, like, yo, I'm breaking up a fight. But some of these other things, every time I go on stream, my voice goes far beyond the couple of thousand people who I'm talking to immediately. And I appreciate that. And I don't sit here like, oh, woe is me. But I'm very proud in the fact that these days, most of the time when I'm either viral or whether people are mad at me is because I'm saying something that other people are scared to say. Now, as it relates to Kanye, Kanye has to learn to discern between when there's an orchestrated effort to silence you and when someone doesn't agree with you. I agree with few things that Kanye says, but I don't agree with everything. I'm not being controlled. I just don't agree with you, brother. Now I could get to the next part. Kanye West, you have a very big mouth. I don't know why you brought my name up. And by the way, I'm going to always have respect because I do want to interview. But I was trying to think, where did you even throw my name in the mix come from? I knew you knew about me because you've sent stuff to your manager specifically to be posted on my page before, which I did. But the next thing I thought in why you would maybe mention my name is maybe some of the things that I have divulged, which I have heard through the industry grapevines. I'm the only person who's going to tell it how I've heard it. And again, if Kanye wants to have a discussion about that, whether it's talking to me directly or you could talk to other people and I'll react to it, it's fine with me. But when I mentioned the thing about you making up a rumor that Pete Davidson had AIDS and you were trying to spread that around, by the way, you were trying to spread that around black media. Let's be clear. You were trying to spread that rumor around black media. And not only was it a rumor, it was a lie. So when we talk about controlled media, if maybe you thought I was controlled, maybe just not by you, because I refused to spread that rumor. I talked about it. I talked about you being a little bit off your rocker, because why the hell, if you're mad or jealous a guy was having sex with your wife, would you spread a rumor like that about him? That's hurtful. That's hateful. But you did that. You run your mouth around strangers. Of course, me, who's an outsider, I've never been in a room with you. I've heard so many things you've done by the fact that you don't know how to be quiet.